Hello there, I'm Mark Coulson, editor of Total Kart Magazine, and with Dave Lane, looking at his hardcore range of gear. Now, this is a product that I particularly like, and I know you're particularly proud of.
Very.
Tell us a little bit more about it.
Okay, firstly, as you can see, the size, the lack of size, and you know what I'm like as an angler. I like to be able to move about, pack everything down nice and neat, compact. But you will notice when I do unpack it, it's a little bit of a surprise. I'm not a fan of great big, huge, chunky sleeping bags, but then if you're out there in all weathers, you know, you've got to be warm and you've got to be comfortable.
I think it's important that the difference between a stuff sack and a bag. A stuff sack is it's a compression sack, if you like. You literally stuff it in, compress it down with those straps.
Anyhow you like, and the recommended way to put a sleeping bag into a compression sack is not to roll it up. You're supposed to put it in totally randomly.
Yeah, you just literally feed it in, don't you?
That compresses the fibres in a different way every time, and it keeps them fresh.
I knew you had to do that. I didn't know that was the reason.
If you roll them up the same way every time, you get flat spots in the fibres. Right. So the intention is to just ram them in and crash it.
Sure.
Down. But we'll get it out and we'll have a look.
Absolutely. And there it is.
There it is. Right, as you can see, this material has got a hollow fibre filling. And what happens with this, although it looks large enough, it looks quite flat, within moments, like puffer jackets or anything made of this material, this fills with the warm air from your body and it goes in and it actually puffs it up. So the longer you spend in it, the bigger the bag gets.
And the warmer it gets,
I guess. Yeah. And on a cold night, for example, you'll get in there and you fluff it about a little bit, and within a short space of time, suddenly,
toasty.
Yeah, you're wrapped in a great big cocoon of warmth. It's
I have
lovely.
to say, one thing that stands out to me immediately is the actual material itself, because one thing I detest in sleeping bags is fleece lining.
Yeah.
It sticks to you, you move, it moves.
Yeah,
it's just not the one for me.
I'm not a great lover either. But this is a very, very smooth, comfortable material. And the other thing I find that I use this bag all year round. You know, I've been testing it right the way through the summer, started in last winter. And I find in the summer it's quite cool.
Right.
The material is quite cooling as you get into it. And in the winter, like I say, is when you get a little bit of heat going in there, it builds up.
You almost warm the bag and the bag then stays warm.
Yeah, then warms you. On this neck baffle section, you'll notice that I've cut this piece here out so that you can tuck yourself in. I don't like it right over my face.
No.
Yeah, but I do like a bit of warmth, stops any breeze and cold creeping in, and any warmth.
I guess it keeps it off your shoulders as well, doesn't it? Yeah.
So once you've got your heat in there, that's going to keep it in. But if you want to, you can still keep your face nice and free.
So when you say you've used it all year round, does it have a rating as such, or is it literally an all year round bag?
It's an all year round bag. I mean,
so you wouldn't need to put a bed chair cover on it, say in the deepest.
No, I mean I used it on monks last winter when I got the first sample. And it was really cold.
Right.
You know what last winter was.
Yeah,
like,
no, I remember, yeah.
I mean, I went there one day and spent 4 or 5 hours smashing the ice up from a rowing boat and then fished that night. Yes, the lake froze up again, but I had to survive in my sleeping bag and I slept in just this, no cover. I was fully clothed, but I was completely warm enough.
Brilliant.
And that was -5, -6, 7, whatever, it was really cold. And I've used it throughout the summer. So, yeah, it's ideal, really. It's got crash zips on both sides, obviously, whichever side you want.
But you can still secure them with the Velcro.
You can, yes.
Because you only ever need one side.
That is the beauty of it. Yeah. If you're getting out this side, say, if you haven't got this securing thing throughout the night, because they're crash zips, this is going to move down, and come undone. But the side you're not using, you just tab it into place.
It's actually quite a bit of room there. I'm amazed at how much bag there is, considering what it looked like.
It does. It will take any size of angler. There is plenty of room in there. Another thing on the subject of size, like you say, it is a substantial size bag, but it's got this little design in here. You unzip these side zips. It's unzips all the way down to the foot. It's actually got a hidden expander panel.
Oh, so you can actually widen the bag itself.
You can widen it, and you've got one of these in both sides. So if you take that measurement there and double it, you've got almost a foot of extra bag. if you've got a bigger guy in there.
All these guys that use, like, you know, the wider style of bed chair, which are quite popular these days.
So it will fit any size of bed chair. And not only that, this also helps as a heat control. You know, if you want a smaller bag, say in the winter, and you want to keep all that heat in and be cocooned, if you like, in there, then have it on the small section.
Narrow it down a little bit.
And in the summer, if you open up both sides, so you've got a larger bag, you've got a bit more circulation of air in there, keep you a bit cooler.
That's brilliant, because obviously the Thermotex material that it's made of, that's breathable in itself, isn't it? If you can give yourself that little bit of room as well, that obviously adds to that.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So it's got that sort of versatility as well. That compacts down to next to nothing. It can end up being a very big, you know, very spacious bag. That's a truly
and
you wouldn't know it was
feature,
there.
Isn't it?
You wouldn't know it was there at all, would you? You know, it's just almost just like a padded baffle on the side. But if you want, you can open it up and have it between 6 inches and a foot wider across.
And you obviously got your retaining.
You've got one of these on each end. One goes over the head section, one goes over the foot section.
Just keeps it nice and steady on the bed chair.
And because of the material it's made from, it's obviously a little bit of a slippery style of material. I put these are grip sections.
Oh, okay, so they're almost like rubberised.
They're rubberised, and although they're not sticky,
they're going to keep
that
it in
way.
place.
So that's going to keep it in place when you're actually sitting sideways on the bed. And to that ends as well, I've got these you can fit round bed chair legs, round the bed chair frame. It's fully adjustable.
Just to secure it that little bit more.
Wherever this happens to line up with, you can just click it on, and you've got the same at both ends. And another envelope section like that on the foot section. So once you've got it on your bed chair, 4 clips, 2 envelopes.
Nowhere, is it?
Your non-slip sections in the middle. It stays where.
What about the guys who like to leave it on a bed chair and fold it up afterwards?
That's the absolute beauty of this. I don't think I've ever taken a sleeping bag off of a bed chair, ever. And the problem is, if you've got one of these big chunky 5-seater,
you can't close the bed down, can you?
The bed's like that, isn't it? You know, it won't shut. This literally, you just push the sides in between the frames, and you can shut the bed chair up completely and utterly flat.
Brilliant.
It compresses totally down to nothing.
Excellent. Dave, you've sold it to me. It's
fantastic.
Definitely one of the products that I'm going to keep an eye out for.
It is a fantastic bag. I'm well happy with it.